Hi team, Paul here from Results Personal Training, and this week me and this fella are going to do a little Christmas Q&A for you. I've pulled a bunch of questions from my emails, from my social medias and various different forums I'm part of, and I'm going to go through them with you today. So, without further ado, how many grams of protein should I eat? 0.8 is the minimum requirement to ward off disease. If you're a trained individual or you want to get lean, then I would consider 1.8 to 2.2 grams per kg of body weight. That's probably a lot more than you're having right now. Now know that protein is the building blocks of lean muscle tissue. It'll assist with tendons and ligaments and joints and bones. It does lots of wonderful things. It has the highest thermal effect of food compared to the other macronutrients, meaning that when you eat protein, it actually burns more calories compared to when you eat carbohydrates or fat. It is essential amino acids. Get enough protein in you. Little caveat to that, if you have a pre-existing kidney condition, ignore all that, go seek medical advice. Question number 2, cardio before or after training. What do you think? Cardio at the end. Resistance training should be first and foremost. Put your cardiovascular second. Resistance training is your primary. You want to get that done first. You can decrease your resting intervals between sets in your resistance training, which will increase your heart rate and have a cardiovascular effect. That is like doing both at the same time, which is another great option. Question number 3, is soy bad for you? It depends. Certainly there's not very many good studies with soy. In animal studies, there's been links to breast cancer and male infertility, amongst others. Soy is a phytoestrogen which raises estrogen in your body. Many of us already have high levels of estrogen, so we don't need any more. It seems like fermented soy may be okay, but personally, I'm not a big fan of soy. Next question. How long should your workout take? 45 minutes to an hour. Maximum an hour. After an hour, your cortisol starts to really drive up and you become very catabolic. You don't need to train for more than an hour. If you're training for more than an hour, just stop. There's no need. Can I get rid of my man boobs with training? Yes, but maybe not as you know it. It's not a case of doing more bench press or more pec flies. The real key to decreasing man boobs is in your hormones. What you want to do is be mindful of aromatase and increase your testosterone. So I would supplement with zinc, which is particularly high in things like oysters. If you can get them, bluff oysters at the moment, amazing. But along with that, make sure you're getting enough adequate sleep, and doing plenty of heavy resistance training is the key. Next question. How many hours of sleep do I need? All of them. No, seriously, 7 to 9 hours, but it's more about the quality of your sleep rather than the quantity of your sleep. That said, the more hours you get, the better chance for quality sleep you have. It's the hours before 12 o'clock that really make the difference. And what you're trying to do is get enough deep sleep and enough REM sleep, and they typically happen before 12 o'clock. 9 o'clock is a really good starting point to go to bed at. Can I drink Diet Coke? Yes, but I wouldn't. Diet Coke has artificial sweeteners. Those artificial sweeteners have a little effect on the brain, and the brain starts thinking it's getting sugar when it's not. And when it doesn't arrive, it wants more sugar, so your body starts to crave more sweetness. Not good if you're trying to lose weight. Artificial sweeteners also have many other studies relating to cognitive function that aren't particularly good. What are your top 3 supplements? Magnesium, I think everybody would do well with the magnesium. Magnesium literally helps every cell of your body. We're also very deplete in magnesium because it's something that we deplete when we're stressed, and there's far too many of us that are very, very stressed. The other ones I would go would be omega-3. We live in a society today where we have far too much omega-6, which is pro-inflammatory, and not enough omega-3. We want a nice ratio of about 2-to-1 between omega-3 and omega-6. Not enough of us are getting that. Omega-3 is anti-inflammatory and aids in all sorts of healing. So getting a good omega-3 is really important. And then my third one would be either a vitamin D, particularly if your levels of vitamin D are a little bit low, which I recommend everybody goes and gets tested. If your levels of vitamin D are okay, then something like a multivitamin or a greens drink would work really well. There are many incredibly good supplements out there, but without knowing you, I'd just be guessing. So my big thing is test, don't guess. Get what is specific to you. Next question, should I avoid fruit because of all the sugar? The answer is no, fruit is really, really good for you. I'm particularly fond of the berry family because it's low glycemic, but all fruit is really, really good for you. I'm not a big fan of juices because we can throw 5 apples, 5 bananas, 5 oranges into a juice, drink it down, and still want more, and that's a real problem. So I'm a big fan of eating one's fruit, particularly post-workout with protein, because that fruit sugar will drive the protein into muscles. 1 to 2 portions a day seems to work really well. Do I need to drink milk for calcium? What do you reckon? No, is the answer to that. In fact, conventional dairy doesn't have particularly good bioavailability of calcium, meaning that you're just not absorbing that calcium. You're going to get it far better from green leafy vegetables or raw milk. So I would highly recommend plenty of green leafy vegetables. They are the questions. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas! And we will catch you in the new year. Have a good one. Paul Results Personal Training.